Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Call of Duty mobile video with Next. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some tips and tricks and how to make beating Day 5 in Undead Siege hard mode a little bit easier, because to begin with, it's kind of a challenging mode, and I honestly wasn't expecting it to be this difficult, but I love it because I love a challenge. And then quick check-in for all my loyal subscribers. Sorry I haven't been posting that much, just wanted to take some time off for the summer and take a break from Call of Duty Mobile, but we're back at it again, so yeah, let's hop into today's video. Alright, so tip number one is as soon as you see that clock almost hitting 0 and the daytime begins, immediately run to the vehicle and hop in the whip and dip. Now once you're in the vehicle, you want to go to a place that has a lot of loot, and I would recommend Kill House for this, especially if you're spawned in at this location that I was in the very beginning, which is usually where you're spawned in to begin with. Because honestly it has so much loot and you can get everything, and it's like a one-stop shop, so that's definitely what you want to be doing. I would run over this ladder right here, slide jump quick to get up in, and you're safe from zombies also, so you can take your time looting as well. The next tips I have are all to do with looting. So basically once it's past day 2 and you're looting around, there are a couple main components that you need to look for, and the only things that you really need to worry about looting for. Number one is definitely going to be finding an LMG. You always want to have an LMG. Honestly, the M4 LMG is the way to go because it deals like 100 damage to bodies and it's like 150 for headshots, and that's just when I was at skill level for my weapon at 3, I think. So that's pretty good. The next thing that you want to be looking for is a bunch of ammo. Just load up on ammo until you have like 1,000, which is preferably what you should be going into the match with. You want to be grabbing first aid kits, and then most importantly, you want to be grabbing these little boxes. The machine gun mods, the pedestals are good. Anyone that's epic rarity, you definitely want to be grabbing those too, not too many. I would recommend the fire mods because those help in building better turrets, the grenade turrets. So yeah, just go around looting for those 3 things. You want to look for ammo, an LMG, and the pedestals and all those type of mods to upgrade your turrets. Alright, next up, as soon as you get back into base, with the next 10 seconds that you have just as the day is waning away, you want to run into your warehouse and you want to deposit all of those little mods that you've got, because that way all your teammates can use them on their turrets as well, and definitely share them because you guys can all work together and help building your turrets individually, and yeah, just deposit them immediately. The next tip, which hasn't really been talked about by other YouTubers so far, is farming. So basically every single time you shoot and a bullet connects with one of the zombies, you gain a little bit of currency or cash that you can use to upgrade your turrets and also buy like Goliaths in late game as well, which are super clutch, and we'll talk about that later. So one thing that you can do is if you just shoot the zombies really far away, and if you're not really worried about ammo, such as if you have an M4 LMG or an LMG and you've just got a hella extra ammo, I know using your wrench on the wardens is faster and it kills them like in 3 shots or 3 swings. But if you just farm them for points instead, it's actually going to get you way more money and help you a lot in the late game. So honestly guys, I wouldn't recommend using your wrenches on the wardens unless you absolutely have to, because there's like 6 of them on your base. Next up, I want to go over what you should upgrade in terms of your turret. So I would recommend getting a tar grenade turret, because not only does it do a lot of damage to the zombies, it also slows them as they're running at you. And once the hordes get super big, having them be slowed down is definitely super clutch. And I also want to talk about placement for where you should place your turrets. I would recommend placing your turrets like on the edge of your base, because that way it'll slow the zombies down and give them something to go after that's like far away from your main base, and that way if they break past your turrets, you'll know super fast because they'll all start running towards the center of your base, and then you guys can start strategizing about how you're going to deal with them. Next up, I want to talk about heavy gunners. If you see a heavy gunner, have at least 3 of your teammates all focusing on the head of that heavy gunner, and then 1 other teammate killing the kind of purple glowish dudes, who I'll show in a second. And I'll talk about why you want to kill those as well. But you really want to take down the heavy gunners because they do a lot of damage and they're just tanks. So honestly, don't even worry about any of the other zombies for just like 10 seconds or whatever, and just focus on the heavy gunner headshots and take them down really fast. So yeah, basically why you want to take out the necromancers is because they heal all the other zombies around them and make it harder for you to kill the zombies. So the faster you get the necromancers out of the picture, the easier it'll be to kill the rest of the zombies. The next tip that I have for you guys is if you see that your main base's HP is kind of like dropping pretty rapidly, if you have your axe, or sorry, what is it called? If you have your wrench upgraded to a high tier, if you run over to the main base and you just start whacking it, it honestly increases the HP and it kind of offsets what the zombies are doing if you have like a couple teammates doing that at once. So that's a really great way, like if you have 20 seconds left or whatever to the round, if you can just run over and start whacking the base, that's honestly how I made it past day 5. Another really good place to loot is launch base or farm. Those two places also have really good loot. Farm, not as much, it's not very centralized, but launch base, if you go up this like tower thingy, it honestly is loaded with a bunch of mods and stuff that you need. So yeah, I would recommend launch base. So once you guys have made it past round 3 or day 3, the most important thing for beating day 4 is turrets. If all of your teammates have at least 3 high level turrets or even 2, that is what will win you this round, unless you need to use a Goliath. I would really recommend trying to save your Goliath until day 5, but if you really need one person to go for Goliath, do it. Otherwise, try and just use war machines on the heads of heavy gunners, because those do a lot of damage on the heads of heavy gunners, and then use the death machine for the rest of the other zombies. Now, once you're going into day 5 or night 5, you're going to want to make sure that you redeploy all of your turrets, because those don't redeploy themselves, and you definitely still want them back because you are definitely going to need them. I would recommend placing them kind of on the edge of the map, but I was actually lucky that we were able to pass this round because I think I placed some of mine a little bit too far to the edge. So yeah, just kind of have them like evenly spread out, and some of them close to the edge that aren't as high level, and then a lot of the mortars that shoot like tar and stuff, have those towards the center and kind of in the middle, but still protected by some other turrets. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have one teammate whoever has their wrench skill the highest, they're just going to be on wrench duty, so they're just going to be running around to all the turrets and just whacking them, and then once the zombies get to the main base, they're just going to be whacking the main base. And then you want to have the other 3 teammates use their M4 LMG for as long as they can, and then go use death machines and war machines. And if they don't have too much money, then you just want them to hop into Goliath straight away, because Goliaths are the key to passing night 5. Honestly, if you just get Goliaths and all 3 of the Goliaths just centralize and focus on the heavy gunner's heads all at once, it'll kind of melt the heavy gunner. And then if you just focus on the zombies after that, that's super key. And honestly, in this clip right here, you can see the turrets doing massive damage to the heavy gunner, those mortar turrets. So yeah, definitely focus on getting a lot of those up and have your wrench person keep them alive, and then have the Goliath focus on killing that heavy gunner. And then one quick tip to never having your Goliath overheat is if you see in the little crosshairs on the heavy gunner's head right now, right to the right of that, you see that little red bar and it's kind of filling up. As soon as you see it get to like right where it is right now on my screen, just stop shooting your Goliath for like a solid 2 seconds, and that's all it'll take to reset, versus if you have it overheat, it'll take like 5 seconds to reset. So yeah, just make sure that you're always keeping an eye on that meter and never letting it get to where it's overheated. Once your Goliath is about to die in this round, just self-destruct it in the middle of a lot of zombies and make sure you have a revive coin left, and then get your wrench out and then just start whacking the base, because honestly there's like 20 seconds usually when your Goliath dies, and as long as you have one teammate who's still spraying at the zombies, one person who's on wrench duty for the turrets that are still available, and then the remaining 2 teammates just whacking the main base, you're going to make it past. And here we were literally so excited because the countdown was going and we were like, oh my gosh, we're finally going to beat day 5, because I've literally been grinding this for like 12 hours, and finally all of our skill levels were high enough and we were able to beat day 5. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and yeah, can wish you guys luck on beating day 5 yourselves. And if you have any comments about any tips and tricks that you have, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below. And yeah, see you guys next time. Peace.